Fiora.
Shulk.
She's...
Get it together, Shulk. We ain't got time to be hanging around here. I don't know what's happened to her, but that was Fiora. No doubt about it. You know what that means? She ain't dead. We gotta get her back.
Get her back. Right. We've come too far to give up now.
Then we'll go to Mechanus and find Fiora.
Just beyond there lies Sword Valley. The Mechan flew in the direction of Galahad Fortress. Fiora may be there. Will you pursue, Shulk?
Yes. We will get Fiora back.
Hello Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Xenoblade Chronicles. That cutscene at the very end of the last episode is another one of my favorites, from the choreography between Dunban and Momkar and their fight being genuinely very good, to the end of the chapter, and how it uses Engage the Enemy in a unique way that no other cutscene really uses, where it uses it at the end of the cutscene, like as they're running away, and then obviously Adam Howden as Shulk, just a fantastic casting decision. There's so much to love about that last cutscene. And there's also a lot to love about Valak Mountain, which is why it's a shame that we're going to leave it behind. Is this a blizzard? I don't actually know if there's a way to check what the weather condition is, but if this is a blizzard, this is actually a pretty rare weather condition on Valak Mountain. There's one super boss that can only appear when there is a blizzard, and it is the strongest super boss, I believe. So... yeah, this will be good to know later. Well, not really, because there won't be a blizzard later. Weather passes with time, so in 30 in-game minutes the blizzard will be gone, probably. Welcome to the Bionis Thumb. It's a very remote location, in that you're here for like a few seconds. But also it's neat that you even get to visit the thumb of the Bionis, because that's definitely not a place people would want to think to visit.
Oh, what the...
Is all that big sword? Oh, if he's, then ouchie ouch!
The sword of the Mechanus.
The entire valley below. The whole thing is its sword.
Something seems... unnatural.
What do you mean?
Look. That flowing light. From the way it glows, it has to be ether. But it looks like it's being... drawn in by something.
By the fortress. It should just be up ahead.
Father once told me that the Mechanus absorbs the ether of the Bionis and uses it for sustenance.
So the Mechanus feeds off ether? Then undoubtedly the ether serves as the Mechan's energy source as well.
That's interesting, especially since we've learned that the ether is basically everything. But also my explanation all that time ago about ether was pretty basic and also more relevant to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 than it is to Xenoblade Chronicles 1. It's still relevant to Xenoblade Chronicles 1 to some extent, but there's more we're going to be learning about ether relatively soon. Maybe in this episode, depending on when I decide a good cutting off point would be. But I really don't know when I'm going to decide to cut this episode off, because there's a lot of potential stopping points, and yeah, I don't know. Welcome to Sword Valley, though, yet again.
It looks so big, even from this distance. The fortress must be enormous.
Galahad Fortress. The frontline base of the Mechan. The Mechan that attack Bionis must all come from here.
Then... there's a high probability that he's there. The golden Mechan that took Fiora. We're about to enter the Mechan stronghold. If there's anyone who wants to turn back now...
Shulk, friend should no split up. No leave friend behind. Ricky's scared, but Ricky won't go too.
Ricky...
He's right. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
I love that Ricky is always the one to speak up in situations like that. It's like... the game doesn't drive in the fact that Ricky is a dad as like a punchline. They use it as like an actual heartwarming thing where he acts like a dad to everybody in the party.
What's that?
A supply convoy. It would be most unwise to proceed without restocking our supplies.
You arranged this for us.
Hey, it's...
Dixon!
Looks like you lot have been having fun without me. Heard you took care of that faced Mechan.
What are you doing here?
I got wind of some allied force coming together a few days back. I stepped up as the representative of the Homs. Then a little birdie told me you lot were heading for Galahad Fortress. So I thought I'd drop by and say hello. I've got a whole stack of new equipment. Want some?
Yeah! I was hoping for some new stuff.
Hold it, Ryan. You know it's gonna cost you.
You cheap old man.
Supply convoy. Whenever you want to move on from the supply convoy, you just talk to Dixon. For now...
Hello.
Mechanus crystals look different from Bionis ones, did you know? The one next to me is like what you'll find on Mechanus. It might be because the ether flow there is different. Yeah, Mechanus ether crystals are going to be in these ether gears, not in crystal deposits. I like that they have a tutorial specifically for this fact at the supply convoy. And we have the shop.
Hello.
Well, we'll see what we can get. They have Anti-Mechan Weapons. These are weapons that are effective against Mechan. That's pretty obvious, but everybody other than Shulk needs one of these still. Unless you kept the weapon for Dunban that you had all that time ago, but that's probably pretty far behind now. These weapons aren't awful, but they are a lot worse than what you probably have by this point. So, I mean, you can just rely on Topple and Break and all that still, and I wouldn't blame you, because you can get better weapons by this point. We also have Brave gear, Amethyst gear, Infantry gear, which has damage heal, which isn't awful. That's actually pretty good gear in terms of stats. I find it very funny that the most expensive one of the Anti-Mechan weapons is the one Ryan wanted, because he was the one complaining about how he had to pay for it. So after selling basically everything I have to this guy, I was able to get Anti-Mechan weapons for everybody other than Melia and Sharla, mostly because they deal damage from a distance anyway, and also Sharla's not going to be in the party. So, yeah, hopefully that'll be good. So my advice is don't do what I did. Don't sell everything you have to get Anti-Mechan weapons, because having to use Monado Enchant as Shulk in every fight is not a big deal, and the trade-off is really not worth it. I did it for Ryan and Dunban and Ricky, because they're going to be in the party the most often in the upcoming area, probably. So it's just for the sake of convenience. But it's really not something you should do. It's not a big deal. Who is this? I don't know why I thought they would have a unique name. I think I'm thinking of an NPC that's in Colony 9, but that was not them.
Hey there.
If you're all ready, let me know what you've been up to. Looks like you've been through a lot. Tell me about it. Tell Dixon what has happened. Not right now. I like that I like how in the options it still gives you like a little box in the above area that tells you who would be saying the thing.
Fiora? You mean Dunban's sister?
Yes.
So that's why you're all looking so down. I can't believe they're sticking Homs into those faced Mechan. Looks like they weren't just eating us.
They made Mumkar into one. He was the one who attacked Colony 9.
Oh, and there was me thinking he snuffed it in that battle.
Aren't you surprised?
Did he attack Colony 9? I don't know what drives those Mechan. I've given up trying to figure them out. It don't surprise me one bit. Still, Mumkar as well, eh? Things are getting interesting.
Sorry?
Oh, nothing.
It is time for us to return. I would like to continue providing assistance, but my help is required in assembling Homs for the Allied force. There are also my duties as seer to consider.
Then I'll be off too. You lot should be all right getting Fiora back. In the meantime, we'll be getting ready for battle.
Thanks for coming this far. We'll be fine. We can handle ourselves.
Galahad Fortress is a key position for the Mechan. You can't just rush in, all guns blazing.
Agreed. We will infiltrate via the ether inlets. If I'm right and the Mechan do feed off ether, then we're sure to find some form of influx channel. Our objective is to reach one of those channels.
Don't go dying on me, Shulk.
I won't. You take care as well.
Cheers.
Looks like it's just us.
Right. We head for the hilt of the sword. Galahad Fortress.
Okay.
One year on. Now, at last, we will seize our destiny. Isn't that right, Shulk?
So another has appeared with the ability to wield the Monado. But why would Zanza release the Monado? He surely knows it would become a double-edged sword. Yet he relinquishes it to that mere child. And a face escaped my control and acted alone. Now that the Monado has been freed, it appears the usefulness of the faces has come to an end. Although, perhaps there are still things to be learnt from having them challenge the boy.
So, before we head into Galahad Fortress, and just Sword Valley in general, first, it's good to know that this shop will still be here, so you aren't screwed out of any art books or anything. But we're looking a little underleveled. Mumkar in the last episode was level 48, and everyone in the party right now is level 41. Do you want to see something really funny? You want to make sure that Ryan and Dunban are in the party, and that they have Steel Strike, Thunder, Wild Down, and Shield Bash respectively, as well as Shulk with at least one of his well, you have to have all of his arts because he only learns the arts he has. But he has to have a Break Art, and preferably an art that you don't get until later in the game, but don't worry about that, that's not as important. Level 98 Dinosaurus. This might be impossible right now. But I really want to try it. I really want to try it. Oh, this could go horribly, but it's worth a try.
Looks like we don't have a choice. Are we insane?
If we're outmatched, we have to pull back.
Nope. Oh god, okay, well, I thought of another strategy, but it was already too late. Basically, you want to be in casual mode for this, and you want to work up your party gauge. Oh god. Oh god. Oh, having that thing aggroed onto Shulk is very bad. Although it might actually be good to be, like, splitting the aggro amongst everybody. Dunban's dead. Okay, this strategy failed. Okay. Yep, we don't have a chance now. With Dunban dead, especially. Unless we can work up the party gauge fast enough even after that. I guess I have to keep everyone healed since I'm Shulk. Okay. There we go, chain attack. Okay. Want to break it with Shulk and miss. Okay. Heading back to this beach, there are these two Makna X that are right next to the Dinosaurus. 3 of them, actually. Basically what we want to do is we want to use these to work up our party gauge. Because we can easily take these in a fight. As you can see, it's already halfway up from just dealing with one. Again, you have to be in casual mode to do this for leveling and getting stuff. So don't bother trying this if you aren't in casual mode. There we go, we got the chain attack. Now that our party gauge is almost entirely full, now we target the Dinosaurus. If I lose this time, I'm going to go out deeper into the forest to find a landmark, and I'm not going to bother showing that because, I mean, that's not relevant to the story, and this is a story let's play. We've been over this. So, there we go, we got the break. While down, got the topple, so now we can't miss. Got a second topple to extend the timer. And now that our attacks can't miss and we have such a long timer, we have time to fill up the party gauge again. This is a strategy that fans have taken to calling Topple Locking. Since this Dinosaurus doesn't have a topple spike or anything, we can very easily just get a second chain attack and extend that for even longer. Topple Locking is a ridiculous strategy that can allow you to take out really high-leveled enemies very early in the game. And that's what we're going to be doing here, basically. I'm going to speed this up because this is going to take forever. There we go. Beating the odds. That got a little stressful at a few points, but yeah, overall that was really easy. You may have seen we did not gain any levels from that for some reason. This game has a function so you can't gain too much experience for beating a high-leveled enemy because of strategies like this. It was in the original game, or in the original version of the game as well, so yeah. But you can get some crazy good gems from this, including debuff resist and unbeatable. Unbeatable can't be upgraded enough that it makes you 100% unbeatable, but this can be a very good gem if used properly. It also gets you giant Soros fangs, which can sell for a pretty good price as well. And there are a lot more of these in the forest as well. I might take out a few while I'm here. But other than that, next time on Xenoblade Chronicles, we are going to be heading into Sword Valley and hopefully reaching Galahad Fortress. See you guys then. It's going to be a little weird because obviously that's not going to be on the end screen this episode. You're going to get a Makna Forest end screen, but whatever.